Tips for Megan on going live. Okay, hi guys. Hopefully you can all hear us. It says we're live. We just got done with, what would we call it, a mini Thrive Palooza kind of a training event. It was a really, really great day. And so we sat down at dinner today and we each took our top 2 takeaways from the event, and we're going to share those with you. So that's what we're doing, but hang out with us till the end, you guys, because we have 2 Facebook hacks that, I mean, blew our minds today. Things we didn't know.
For real.
Yes.
For real.
So those are like the icing on the cake from the tips that we had today. So Kayla, I'm going to turn it to you to start with your 2 top takeaways.
Okay. We have like pages of notes, and it was really hard to come up with just 2 things to share. So they had different panels. It really was like Thrive Palooza style. They had different panels on social media and objections and things like that. But a couple of the things that stood out to me, one of them was the social media panel. And they talked about being authentically you. Show people how you take it in the morning. Put it in your stories, photos, videos, whatever works for you, and be authentically you. And then throughout your day, document through social media how Thrive is helping you do your life, or hopefully not scream at your kids, whatever it is that Thrive's helping you with. You know, they said people are nosy. They want to know like what life is all about for you. And then they talked about consistency, which we've heard it before. You know, our leaders are always saying consistency is key. And one of the panelists said something that really struck a note with me is, it is a choice you are making to not be consistent. And that struck me because I'm not always consistent, and I have lots of excuses that I thought were valid until I heard this, and it was like I'm actually making a choice to not do my job and to not share something that's going to help somebody else. It shifted it a bit for me. So those were my 2 takeaways. Johnny?
So I had a whole bunch, and my notes are terrible, but it was like amazing today. So I'm just gonna, like, one of the things they were talking about is everyone gets those people that are always saying, well, it's too expensive, it's too this, it's too that. And one thing that I don't even remember who said it, but she said, and sorry, I am looking at my phone, all my notes are on my phone, but she said, you know, tell them, you know, you can't put a value on something that you've never experienced. So if you think about that, like if you haven't experienced it, you can't put a value on that, you know? So that was huge. That was something that kind of stuck in the back of my head all day. Another thing is, they talked about like, okay, if you want to be 12K, think 12K, like act like a 12K. If you want to be 200K, act like a 200K. And then with that, they said, if you're going to treat it like a hobby, it's going to be a hobby. If you're going to treat it like a business, it's going to be a business. So like, if you're going for that 12K, that bonus, that car bonus, you know, stuff like that, treat it like that. Like, think of that, vision that, like, that's a huge thing that it's been huge for me, is that I need to picture that in my head. Like, you know, I'm not going to be 200K tomorrow, but I see it there. Like, I'm going for that, you know? So.
What does a 200K act like?
A 200K.
What does that mean?
Oh, don't put me on spot.
What it means is seeing an event on Facebook
Yes.
and jumping in a plane when you're deathly afraid to fly by yourself and drive in the snow and just like commit first, figure it out later, right?
Right.
That's what Johnny did.
So, like, I know we're going to probably talk about this later too, but Thrive Palooza. Buy the dang tickets, because first of all, you're going to get credit, and I think that ends tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Correct?
The early bird special.
The early bird special. So buy the damn tickets. Dang tickets.
We're not in church anymore. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So buy the tickets and we'll figure it out later. Like if you need somewhere to stay, I already got a hotel room. I already did the tickets in the hotel room. I don't have.
You need a roommate?
No, I don't
Oh,
have.
okay.
I don't have a flight down there yet. But I'm going somehow, some way. I'll figure it out later.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
like,
that's what a 200K does. They
Yeah.
bought their ticket and figured it out.
yeah, right. So that was like a few huge things of mine. But I think someone else is talking about that follow up.
Oh yeah,
I
that
wanna
was a
say
good
that.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of my big takeaways because it's a question I think I have all the time, but I get a lot from my team too. So I think it's a question that we all struggle with is
Do you
just
want my notebook?
how much do you follow up? Tiffany has amazing notes. I'll use them. How much do you follow up? And there was a leader up there, and she's a millionaire, and she's just a very down to earth person, and she said, I follow up until the police come to my door, like until I get a restraining order. And the whole room just broke out in laughter. But I loved that because there is no end. There's not a number. It's not 10. It's not 12. It's not 15. It's, until they order Thrive, until you get them living the best life they can, you are following up with them. And I just loved that because she said it in the most genuine way where you knew that it was like she wasn't saying it because she was harassing them, but she was saying it because she genuinely wanted them to feel better. So it was like, when would you stop wanting your friends to feel better? Never. So you're going to keep following up until they're thriving with you. I loved that. And then my second tip was just they had so they had panels for every topic, and it was awesome. I cannot say enough to you guys just how powerful it was, and just like Tiffany said, it felt like a mini Thrive-palooza. So, it felt like we paid VIP tickets to be at Thrive-palooza because we were like looking at their eyes up close, and it was really cool because Maria was very passionate today, you guys. So
She was on fire.
yeah, and I think that they were talking a lot about it. They called it a Super Saturday. It followed an event last night, which was great too. And if you see one posted on the event page, get to it because it was super powerful. But they had an entire panel of couples, and I actually know 0 of the couples that were up there as people. I think I am friends with maybe 1 of the couples on Facebook, and so it was really cool to see a whole panel of thriving couples that I hadn't seen before. But they did like a Q&A, and it was, I think, very powerful for the whole audience to see, what does it look like? How did this start? Did you get the support in the beginning? What does that look like? And there was just a range of people who had to prove to their spouses first that it was legitimate. All of them agreed that it was cool because it was free. So there was a huge plus. But, really it came down to support can look so many different ways in every different household. And I think the one thing I took away from that panel was just, I don't know about you guys, but just like, I felt like a connection between every couple. Like they genuinely loved each other, and the husbands were like, I fold laundry. I do the finances. I, do the dishes, or we actually cook together because we love to cook. That's not happening at my house. We don't love to cook.
Not mine either.
I really loved just that they talked about, I think that we are so blessed in the way that we get to see Dustin and Tiffany build an incredible business together. But that's not always the norm. And it might look different in a very different household. So your husband might be doing laundry and you need to celebrate that. That's support. They
That's
might
huge.
not yell at you when you're on your phone every night for 2 hours, really plugging in and doing the do so you can have a different life for your family. And that's support. And I just thought that was so cool to see that, and to watch the audience kind of just take that in was really cool. So those were my big takeaways. Did you guys miss one? Are you good?
Oh, I missed the haters. They talked about haters, and there were questions. There were a lot of questions, actually, from the audience about haters and what do you do with them. And one of the guys on the panel said, you're always going to have those haters, and they're going to throw dirt on your name. Use that dirt, turn it into soil, and grow. Move on. And I like that analogy. I'm a visual person, so I could I saw myself covered in dirt and growing.
Like they don't know they throw dirt on your name, that you're going to use that as soil. You know,
Right.
they have no idea what you're going to, they think you're going to crumble, right? And if you use that, and it was super cool the way
Right.
they
So
described
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Just don't fall into their trap. Like, stay positive. Stay, you know.
I love that. The whole theme was just be positive no matter what people say, no matter how they come at you.
And don't engage with them. Don't engage with the haters.
Yes, someone had asked about if, you know, someone puts a nasty comment on your post or something, you know, what to do with that. And, you know, there was two options. You either just completely ignore it and don't even respond to it at all, or you respond to it in a super kind manner where they have no choice but to just let it die, you know? So
that was so cool.
yeah. All right, let's see, my takeaways. Number one, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the local last night. We were in a basement of a restaurant. It was a packed house, and we stood. There was a few tables scattered around, but the majority of, what would you say, 150 people? Maybe?
Yeah.
Standing room only.
We're standing. And so I wanted to just talk about that a little bit. We have, I think, you know, we have like an expectation for locals or for gatherings or things like that. We were shocked last
no
night.
decor, no floral arrangements.
No. There was some
The
balloons
1, 2,
and
3.
one table. And this was Paul and Drew coming in, like a mega local, basically. You know, Maria Dillard was there, and all these
Top
big leaders.
leaders.
And it was enough.
And it
was-
amazing.
It was amazing. So I just wanted, what I'm going to talk about is events. That's one of my big, huge takeaways from today. But I wanted to just let you guys know this was a huge local last night, and there was nothing special about it. Everybody stood, everybody clapped, everybody loved it, everybody got into the energy of the room, and that is the power of events. You don't need all the pretty, you know, decorations and everything else. So that was kind of my lead in. Also, Paul and Drew spoke last night, and I put a post up. We did a selfie in the first picture I took. I didn't realize who was standing behind us. And so I had to take another one a little bit up higher so that we could show, you know, Paul and Drew were behind us. And
they were standing there, though, like the rest of us. They were like in
Exactly.
there for that local.
Yes,
Like
yes.
they weren't.
And that was
acting
in the middle of people speaking and
Right.
stuff when I took that picture. But the vision that they painted when they got up on stage, you guys, if you have ever doubted,
Holy cow.
there's just no doubt.
amazing.
I mean, they were just
Yeah.
talking about what they are building and what their plans are with this company. This company will be around far after we're gone from this earth. So if that gives any indication of what kind of legacy they are building, what kind of legacy that you can build with this company, it was amazing. I'm gonna tear up because it was really
I was
emotional.
going to say that because
It was.
we were really surprised because Drew doesn't normally do that to us. He's a great human, but I don't normally get that emotional draw from him. But last night, I remember thinking when he was talking, like, I think I might cry. And I looked over at Tiffany and her eyes were glassy, and I was like, oh God, Drew just killed that.
He did.
I mean, he was like a mic drop.
Yeah, just the picture he painted of this company is going to be around long after all of us are gone, and the commitment they have to the best products, the best experiences, that just blew us away, I think.
Mhm.
And it was like,
He talked about how they spend millions of dollars researching different products that they potentially want to put out, and a lot of the products never make it to shelf because they won't release anything that's not the top, that's not the absolute best top of the line product, but that they're willing to invest all of that money to make sure that we have the top of the line products to put out there to change lives.
and just the belief he had in Paul and Jason was
Oh my god.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give my two takeaways for new people just jumping on. Hang on till the end. We have 2 Facebook hacks that we are going to just blow your minds with. We said that in the beginning, but I know there's more people that have popped on. So, okay. One of the gals on the panel today said that social media has made us antisocial. What? It's social media, right? And when she said it, it hit all of us, I think, like, yes, we are much more comfortable just sending a message, sending a text message, putting a post on Facebook, right? And what she said about that is that people crave to be a part of something. They have a craving to just be a part of something, and if we can offer them something amazing that they can be a part of, how huge that is. And you guys, that happens in events. There were people that talked about, you know, when they got started, they committed for 6 months to do an event every week. There was 3 girls that kind of started together, and they committed to once a week they were going to get together, and they were going to, you know, obviously the goal is to bring people to these events, right? And they were talking about sometimes one person would show up, sometimes nobody would show up, sometimes 6 people would show up, but it continued to grow because they had that consistency. And I think the way that she described that is, you know, we have become a little bit more antisocial and a little bit more passive. And if we can get people together, whether it's 10 people, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 30, or whether it's, you know, 150 people that were there last night, there is power in being a part of something so special. So that was a big takeaway that I had, and something that Dustin and I, we had a leadership luncheon, I don't know, the first week of the year. I don't even remember what day it was, but we had talked about that. Like, we want to get back to not just doing the locals, you know, that are on the fan page, but getting people together in the smaller settings and looking across the table at people and talking about our Thrive experiences and just the power. That's what we did in the beginning, you know. We did that all the time, you know, and we've kind of gotten away from it. So that was one takeaway. And then the other one, I'm going to go to Megan's because I think she missed it. You did. The motivation.
What the heck?
I know. I know.
Really,
it was a good one. So we could do this one together.
Yeah.
But it was finding your motivation to get up and send those hard messages, to get up when maybe you're not on top of your game today, and still send messages, reach out, follow up with your people. We have all the tools here, right? We can show you all the things to do. We can give you all the tools to do that, but that motivation has to come from you, right? And what drives you to do the hard things every day.
Yeah, and just what struck me, what started it, was Maria said, you know, you can't send a message that says, I'm having a tough day, or can you support me more, or I need help, or I need you to check in with me. And that's just not gonna happen as much as people want to support you. She just was like, that's too vague. Like, you need to be specific. You have to have something that wakes you up in the morning, that makes you want to walk into your office or walk to your, you know, paper that says 54321, pick it up and send the message. And they went around the room and they talked about their why. And I'm telling you guys, there was a man who was emceeing the night that was a good 300 pounds linebacker type guy. And he started speaking and it brought him to tears.
Yeah.
And within about 30 seconds, he was in tears, just saying what gets him out of bed every morning and what makes him hustle. And so, you know, it was just, it struck a chord with me. Motivation, extrinsic motivation, meaning a prize or, you know, a $700 bonus that Le-vel hands out, or there are so many of those out there for us. There's got to be more. You have to figure out what your why is, and it might evolve. And that was the coolest part too. Maria talked about how hers has evolved and changed, and it was just, I loved every minute of it. So you won't hear any of us tell our why right now because we'll cry, and that's how yours should be. I always say that to my team. I'm not going to tell you mine right now because it will make me cry. But you have to have that thing inside of you that says, this is why I get up and send those messages to change the next life. This is why I want to help people live their best life, because ultimately my why is that strong that I don't miss a day. even when life happens, even when I'm going through some of the crappiest days that I can go through, I'm still going to get up and try to help somebody live their life to the fullest because my why is so strong. So figure that out. And that was incredible.
I think it doesn't need to make you cry necessarily, but it needs to invoke emotion.
I just cry over everything.
I mean, I see Dustin's on here. He was under a trailer house and there was a freaking dead rat there.
This was anger.
That didn't make him cry, it pissed him off.
Right?
That was our why at one point. Like, we need to get out of this house. You know, we need to get a house that isn't on wheels. So if it invokes a very strong emotion, you know, it just needs to be deep. It needs to be that kind of, you know.
She said it can't be, I want to make money. It can't be, I want to pay my bills. It's got to be bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not enough.
And rolling into that, we're going to talk about stop playing small, because now I almost forgot one of the things I was going to talk about.
Right, you did.
Yeah, because I didn't write it
so
down.
bad.
Kayla had to tell me. So she talked about stop playing small. Like, for those people that, you know, are maybe at 12K and say, no, I'm good here. Are you good there because you don't think you can get to the next level? Are you good here because you don't feel like you deserve more blessings? Like, dream big. Somebody's going to get those blessings. Why not you? You know, you can do it. I don't want to go too deep into that, but it was stop playing small and start dreaming big.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything to add to that? Because that makes me want to cry a little bit too.
I see that. I know it's a soft spot for Tiffany, but I do think that you have to get to that place where you feel like you deserve it, and it's not wrong to ask for more. It's not wrong to want for more. And I think that is, you know, that's a huge part of Maria's story and a huge part of Tiffany's, is it's not wrong to want more. And I loved when she said that, because it struck a chord. So many people are okay to say, I'm happy, I have my best life, and that's true. But that doesn't mean you don't want more. So don't let the fear of not being able to accomplish it, or not feeling like you shouldn't ask for more, to hold you back. And then they went into the vision board piece.
Yeah. Well, and Maria said too, you know, almost everybody you meet, including yourself, will tell themselves they want something more. They want something bigger. But the majority of people don't want to verbalize that, because what if they fail? Or, you know, they don't want people thinking they're being ungrateful, or they have a sense of not feeling worthy enough for that, like you talked about. But that struck me, because everybody thinks about, you know, people are like, oh, I wish I could go on that beach vacation, or, oh, I wish I could pick my kids up from school. You know, everybody has something that something more than what they already have that they would like, and often don't verbalize it.
Are we ready for some Facebook hacks?
We're
so excited about this, you guys.
Actually, I have one more thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Okay, so the gatherings you were talking about. Oh, okay.
Jump on it.
The gatherings, you were talking. You know, you were talking about gatherings, and get back to that. You know, like, I already have it in my head that, you know, I think I'm going to reach out to a few people, see if they want to go out and have dinner, or, you know, and see if they have any friends that want to come with, or whatever. Or if you have the gathering at a restaurant in the back room or whatever, try to do something that's free, obviously, you know, and just meet with them. If it's just you and your upline or downline or whatever, practice your story, practice your, you know, take advantage of that time with just you two then. You know, don't get down if no one shows up that first time, or second time, or third time, or, you know, you got to stay positive. So it's like another positive thing.
I have one more thing to add to that. When she said gathering, it's so good, you guys.
It's so hard to pick.
Yeah.
So many things.
But
it captivated us the whole 6 hours.
Yes.
Felt like 20 minutes.
But they talked about those gatherings. It was actually the 3 girls that started it together, and they called around their area to find out when restaurants had, like, what is your slowest night? Tuesday nights? Okay, here's the deal. I'm a small business. I don't want to, you know, pay a room charge, but I would like to come in on your slowest night and get some people together. my goal is to build on this and grow it every week. And we're going to buy supper here. We're going to have dinner. We're going to have a drink. And we're going to grow this every week. And they found the places in town that would let them do that. If you are telling them you're a small business and you want to come in on their slowest night, so you're not taking away from somebody that's going to pay for that room, you know, they said there are restaurants that will let you come in and use their private room as long as, you know, you're talking about growing it and coming in on a consistent basis. So the biggest thing is we don't want you to have to pay for, you know, some of these rooms when you're first getting started. Go where you don't need to invest money to do that.
Mario was hot on Facebook and your friend list today. She was like scooting around the room and grabbing the microphone.
And people's phones.
I loved it when she was saying, like, use your warm market. And she said, like, go find your old high school classmates. They are warm. They know you. They trust you. They at least remember hearing of you. And, you know, a lot of discussion about following other thrivers, but not friending them and saving those spaces. This company is going to be around for 50 years. You want to save those friend requests for people who are non-drivers. I thought that was really cool.
She said, so don't be offended if tomorrow I unfriend you.
Yeah.
She might unfriend us, and that's okay.
Yeah, she just might. So keep that in mind. Okay, Facebook
What
hacks.
hacks?
Are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Kayla.
So the first Facebook hack that we learned was that you can scan from your messenger. So some of you might know this, but the four of us did not know this, and our minds were like blown.
No.
So, you know, often people will say, oh, you know, I really feel connected to you. I'd love to like connect on Facebook. What's your name? You're such a good waitress.
I feel like you're amazing.
And then you're like searching for them on Facebook, or you're giving them your link. If you go to Messenger and you click, so I'm on my Messenger, and you click on your face up at the top. Oops, that's not my face. There's my face. And this comes up. And then when you click on your face again, you get something that says my code and scan code. So if I click scan code, that's going to come up. Now, if Megan Johnny's going to come up. So I will take mine
there.
and I put it. Oh, I do it the wrong way. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll still work.
I scanned her face, and it took me right to my messenger that I have with Johnny. So that's pretty incredible. I tested it out tonight on one of the hotel employees. I gave her a 1-day sample, and I was like, let me show you the super cool thing that we learned today. And it worked. Like, I'm really glad the scan worked. But that was, it's incredible.
So instead of saying, can I get your email or take my business card? You can just say, oh my gosh, you were so great. Let me scan you. How easy.
So now we're
And
scanning
you're
everyone.
connected
Now
with
you're
them.
connected.
And now you're connected.
You did it in
It's
10
amazing.
seconds. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And her mind was blown too. She was
was-
like,
she
whoa.
Yeah, she was excited because you taught her something new.
Mm-hmm. And now they're connected because Kayla sent her a message, you know, and now they're going to connect about how to take the product and all that stuff. So amazing.
And even if you don't have a sample, just, it was great to meet you. I think you're awesome. I would love to connect with you. And I think you're great at what you do, and I would love for you to hear what I do. Let's connect and then scan them. You don't even need to give them a sample.
Nope.
No. It was so easy.
So easy.
So easy.
Love that.
All right, Megan has our second hack, you guys. Who uses stories on Facebook? Do you guys use those on Instagram or Facebook? We're going to talk about Facebook stories here.
Yeah, okay, so I would say a reoccurring discussion was around Facebook stories and how they are up and coming, and people love to look at the stories, and people are in stories so much more than they're in their actual pages and studying pages. So get in your story if you haven't. If you post on Instagram, it will transfer over if you say it to Facebook. If you're in Facebook stories, here's mine. You probably can't see it from far away. I posted about Thrive this morning. Go figure. And but sometimes I think, oh man, I'm posting about Thrive every darn day, or I have another day where I'm in love with my dog and I would like to repost it. But in my world, I thought that Thrive story or Facebook stories disappeared after 24 hours. They do to everybody in the natural world, but not to you because you own your own. So if you go to your profile, you click on your name, there's my Facebook profile.
Go closer.
Closer. Okay. Here's my Facebook profile. When you're on your own profile viewing it, if you click on this tab that has 3 dots, one of the options says Story Archives. And if I click on it, there is every Facebook story Megan Shaughnessy has ever posted.
Isn't that
Look
crazy?
at that!
They're all there.
So exciting. Okay.
So you can check who.
So here's the 2 tips they said. Well, I'll give you 2 tips. Okay, the thing that they talked about most was you can go in, and I will give you actually 3 tips. Number 1, study how many people are looking at each one and which ones get the most views, because clearly if there's some that are attracting a lot of people, keep doing that. So let's say this one with Samantha and the dog got 180 views. Holy cow. It didn't say Thrive, so they felt safe. So I can go back and I can click on it and I can see, I can see every person who has looked at that Facebook story. And they said, write down every person who is a non-thriver, and there is your leads list. That's who you can message.
Amazing.
Wow. Okay, that is incredible. Let's keep looking at my lovely face here. Okay, so then this is my second tip. There's 3 dots up there. If you click on those 3 dots, you can click save. It will also save it, so you can repost it to your stories again. So I don't need to create a Facebook story every time I want to make a frozen pizza for my kids. I can just say, oh, I got that one in my photos. Isn't that crazy? Or you can click on the bottom, share, and it'll share it again. So you can reuse your stories, which I love. Guys, love that.
And one thing, even aside from going into your story archives, I have been posting on my stories for a while now because that's what they are saying to do and whatever, but I haven't really been utilizing it that much. And they were talking about, even when your story is still up for those first 24 hours or whatever, you should be going on there and looking all the time to see who's looking at your stuff. We can't see when we post something, we can't see how many people are actually looking at it, right? Unless they like it or comment or, whatever, we have no idea that people are actually looking at our post. But when it's in your story, you can see that, you guys. And it was a light bulb moment for me because I haven't used stories that way. Sometimes people will reply to a story and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. But I haven't actually used it to see who's watching my stuff. That's genius, right?
And that's another good point.
Yeah.
For Messenger. So if you see someone that you're maybe, reaching out to, and you see a story of theirs that sparks some interest and you want to comment on it, it's going to go straight to their messenger. So that's another.
Now you're in their inbox, which is awesome. And you guys, when you're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if you are engaging with a non-thriver like that, that counts as a reach out. It doesn't. That was one thing we expanded on today with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is every reach out doesn't have to include the word thrive on it, And so if you are intentionally engaging with someone that you want to thrive with you, that counts for your daily activity, your income producing activity, right?
Yeah.
Huge. Any closing thoughts, ladies?
It's powerful.
So many, but we don't have all night.
I would just say that I didn't know what to expect from this weekend. But just looking at the people that were on the banner on the event, I was excited, but it really was so powerful. And that if you see an event like this posted and it's possible for you to get there, go to them. They're wanting to do these Super Saturdays across the country. So the more that we're able to attend them, the more we learn, the more we're able to help people. But the more that Paul and Jason and Drew know that these are of value. It was amazing.
Definitely. All right, we're going to leave you with that because we have early flights tomorrow. So we got to, get our stuff together tonight. But hopefully you guys took some value from that. We'll talk soon.